Good evening. Welcome along to SAFC Fan TV and another edition of the Sunday Bunch live. With myself, Philly, we have the Mad Mistake, we have Conrad Lee, Sean Middleton, Jacob Kirkbride, and Michael Bowers. We're here to chat all things Sunderland, and we are live. So if you want to join us on the live chat, please feel free to do so, and we'll try and include you in the show. Nothing coming up on the live chat as yet. Did you have a problem with this, Conrad?
It's doing it again. I've just tried to do something now, but it sorted itself out after a couple of minutes. I'll tell you what, I'll try being our account. That seemed to clear it yesterday for you.
Right, okay. Yesterday then, another 3 points in the bag for Sunderland. Sunderland 1, Shrewsbury Town 0 at the Stadium of Light. The Mad Mistake, what did you think?
Well, compared to the match on Tuesday night against Plymouth and the match against Wimbledon, I thought their first 30 minutes was one of the better performances I've seen from the Sunderland side. I thought it was a good team performance. I thought everybody did their bit in the first 30 minutes. So the high press was really good. We should have been 2 or 3 up comfortably by half time. But Sunderland never put in a full shift. The team cannot last a full shift. The team can't even last 60 minutes. So for me, they're just not good enough. They're not fit enough. The endurance isn't good enough. The stamina is not good enough. They can't last more than 30 minutes. But that first 30 minutes is a good start. It's a good gauge, you know. If we can do that and improve on that in the next few matches, the only way is up. But after the first 30 minutes, Shrewsbury, we didn't kind of let Shrewsbury back into it. We sort of give them the ball. Lee Burge made a couple of errors. They had a couple of opportunities to sort of equalise. And when you're only 1-0 up, anything can happen. That's the reason why, you know, when you have the bit between the teeth, you've got to score more than one goal. Then the second half, I don't know what happened second half. There's no excuse for the side for the second half. They've had 15 minutes rest. They've had a cup of tea. They've had a few bickies, and they've come back out and they've sat back. I don't know why they sat back. I don't adhere to all about Shrewsbury up in the game. I've been talking to some Shrewsbury fans, and the best they want to do in the season is just stay survive in League One. So if we want aspirations of being promoted, if we want aspirations of getting into the top 6, we need to put these teams to bed and don't sit back and let them back into the match. We did defend well second half, I give them that, and it was a compact performance, but we give the ball away. They were coming. It was like a boxing match. We were just sitting back, sparring, taking the punches, and we just fended them off with our wrists. We finally won, got 3 points. It was a better performance. It was 3 points. I'm happy with the win, but overall, second half performance was terrible.
Right, fair enough. You're saying there, and Mad Magam on the chat, beat us to it anyway, said about us lasting 30 minutes. Our last says don't even last 30 seconds. But of course, that was already in there. On the chat then, Gary Talbot is on there. Johan Punchin, Acacia Cameron, Jude, Thane, the Mad Macam, Jack, the Red and White podcast, all in there. Tommy, Mick Griffiths, welcome to you all. Thanks for tuning in. Thane says, different location from Jacob. Well done to our friendly. Oh no, he said we wouldn't mention that. Right, okay. Right, Conrad. Sunderland 1, Shrewsbury 0. Your thoughts on the game?
Pretty much the same as Terry. It was just Jekyll and Hyde performance between the first 30 minutes to what we were in the second half. I was impressed with how compact we were in our final in our third. Like we didn't really let them have a proper shot at Lee Burge, but we were just under the cosh the whole of the second half. Just couldn't, every time we got out or even looked like we could get anywhere, just misplaced passes or just hoof ball getting it out. But like Jacob said before we started, a win's a win, and sometimes you just have to win ugly, don't you? So we move on, I guess.
Yeah, fair enough. It's that second half performance, for me, I was deflated after it, and even though we'd won, Paul,
it was a relief, wasn't it? Just at the end of the game, just to go.
Yeah, I suppose.
Jeez.
Paul Feetham on the chat says, play like we did. Play Saturday like we did. Play on Tuesday like we did Saturday, and Ipswich will spank us. It's a bit like my wife does that. Jacob, Sunderland 1, Shrewsbury 0. Your thoughts?
Win's a win, mate. Big 3 points. Take out the performance side of things, especially in the second half. I think it's just important to go into that Ipswich game knowing that we've got a bit of confidence going into it, to be honest, even though there are certain things that we need to correct if we're going to have a better chance of coming out of 3 points on Tuesday night, because Ipswich will provide a lot more attacking threat, I believe, than what Shrewsbury showed yesterday. I think Shrewsbury, they were good. I would say they deserved the point for the effort they put in, but it was just the quality in the final third. But at the same time, I thought we looked a very solid team on a defensive point of view yesterday. Jordan Willis and Bailey Wright, I think, as a centre-back partnership, they understand each other's game very well. I think the problem we had second half, I think, if you look at our fullbacks, Callum McFadden and Max Power, they don't break away and don't get up the pitch quick enough for me. And even though I would like to see potentially Dion Sanderson come into one of those positions, at the same time, do you make changes to a back four that's just kept a clean sheet? For me, I think Lee Johnson will keep the same back four on Tuesday night. I don't see a problem with that. But at the same time, in our midfield, there's not enough drive, like going into the latter stages of a game. There's not enough for me. And we brought on Chris Maguire. He changed it a little bit, but at the same time, I think we need to get the ball out to the flanks a lot more, because if we get in good areas and cross it, Charlie White will feed off it like what he did for McGeady's goal yesterday. We need to do that a lot more, especially if Charlie White's going to be our main chance of promotion this season. I think that's the way forward. But a win's a win, mate. 3 points, roll on Tuesday night in front of the Sky Sports cameras. It's going to be a huge game.
Right, fair enough. Oh, the dance there again. Ooh. Right, on the chat, David Vasey says, no honours this season, lads. He's a Lincoln supporter. Well, good luck to Lincoln in the league.
Sorry.
But, you know, when you get cocky like that, it can come back and beat you on the bum. And
like we did in December.
Yeah, something like that. Right, on here as well. Mad Mackham says, love the shirt, Conrad. I'm going to get one, and then you can ring each other and say, what are you wearing tonight? Are you wearing the yellow and all that?
That's the
plan. Clayton Edwards says, Conrad, is that the 1990 goal top? Do you want to tell them about the offer, Conrad, and then people can cash in on that, or not?
Provide your best marketing skills.
Literally, it was the best advert I've ever seen. It's one of the things where you see an advert and I was just like, I'm having it. So I ordered it straight away and I loved it. And it's the year I was born, so I had to get it.
Shut up. 1990.
Man of the noughties. We're both men of the noughties.
1990. You're older than that.
No,
you are having a laugh.
I'll be 31 in April this year.
Up.
I just look like a shot out 45-year-old.
Shut up. Right. Michael then. Sunderland 1, Shrewsbury Town nothing. What did you think?
Well, first of all, I was listening to Sean and Dino's argument at half time on the live stream, which did have us quite entertained, I must admit. Although I do get what Dino's saying, I think along the lines of Sean, where it's a win is a win at the end of the day. 3 points is 3 points. If we'd have conceded, we'd have been saying, our performance, we wouldn't have been saying what the performance was like. We would have just been focusing on the fact we dropped points. Having said that, whoever said if we play like we did on Saturday, then we'll lose at Ipswich. If we play like we did second half, yes, I think we will. I think the performance over 90 minutes does need to be better, and we need to be working at improving that, maintaining stamina, maintaining a good standard, maintaining the high press. Because obviously, if you press too much early in the game, you're knackered. You're basically knackered for the rest of the game. So, look, don't get it was good. The goal was a good one. I really liked. I think that was one of Charlie White's better goals I've seen. I can't remember him scoring that many headers. So, granted, he hasn't got many competition to beat there, but that was a class header. The way that he placed his header onto the ball, and it just looped over everyone into the far right corner, and the keeper couldn't get to it. I know there was a couple of talks about, it was poor goalkeeping. I disagree. A really, really good header, which might sound contradictory because every time we concede a goal, I always look at what we could have done better. But it's a win at the end of the day. We do need to improve second half because, God, second half was dreadful. It was awful. And what I can't deny is that Shrewsbury got into some very, very good scoring chances, and had they had a bit more quality, we probably would have been punished. So, and like Jacob said, I think Ipswich will offer more going forward than what Shrewsbury did. It's also important to remember Shrewsbury went to Hull and won 1-0, went to Lincoln and won 1-0. Both are in the top two. They went to Doncaster, won 1-0, took points at home off Charlton. But then on the other side, you could argue, because they had, that was their first league game for like 3 weeks, wasn't it? Because they played in the FA Cup midweek, but they've obviously had a COVID break, the same as what we had a month ago. So maybe that factored into the result a bit. I don't know. This is going to sound really stupid. I actually would have been more confident for Ipswich had we not won yesterday, because now we've got a chance to do back-to-back wins. I'm thinking we're probably not going to do it because it's Sunderland and I know exactly what we're like. But hopefully I'm wrong.
Yeah, that does sound stupid, that, Michael, but never mind. Right. Also on the chat, Andrew Robbins, the serial online shopper, says, I'm buying that shirt tomorrow, which means I'll probably be delivering it to his house the day after. So
CONRAD advertised it well.
So the Mad Mackham, Andrew Robbins and CONRAD can all go out dressed the same in your shirts. Tony Lee says, hang on, further back. Reese. Oh, I must get my channel back up and running again, but there you go. You're right, Tony Lee on the chat as well. So, Sean, a 1-0 win. A win's a win. What did you think?
I thought the first half was probably, it was the best performance of the season at home, I think, the first half. I always try to take the positives as, always. I mean, looking at their form, I know Terry was saying that, the bottom, that's fair enough, but I mean, they won 4 of the last 5, beating, as Michael said before we went on air, they beat Hull at Hull, they beat Lincoln at Lincoln, they beat Doncaster, and they beat Blackpool. So, I mean, they are the form team coming into the game, so you can't disrespect them and say, they're near the bottom, we'll just turn up and beat them. I thought the first half was brilliant. Some of the great passing. The goal was brilliant by Son as well. Aidan McGeady showed glimpses of the quality, what he can show us all. But the cross was brilliant and the header was fantastic. We probably could have scored more. I mean, it wasn't any clear-cut chances, to be fair. But I mean, I thought Power right back done really well. The defence was solid all the way through. Josh Gunn was all over the place. Ledbetter controlled it in the first half. I thought it was a really good performance. I don't understand what happened in the second half. I mean, we're discussing this at half time, and I mean, you've got to try and maintain your performance for the 90 minutes, and that's something we need to address because, to be fair though, I mean, Shrewsbury were the better side in the second half, but they didn't have any chances. We restricted them. We've sort of done the second half. We've done the ugly side of the game where you're just putting tackles in and you grind up, but you cannot defend for a 45 minutes like we did because it'll come back and bite you. But it's a great win for me. It's a clean sheet, and we've got to go on a run now because this result will mean nothing if we don't follow it up in the next 2 games. Ipswich Tuesday night and Gillingham next Saturday. We've got to just follow it up. But for me, I always take the positives. At half time, we were sixth in the table, and this it's a funny league this year. This is people are beating everybody, and there's nobody running away, which is good for us. And we've just got to try and go on a run now. And the players have got to put a shift in. And I was saying to Dino as well before we went live. I think there's a lot of players who's not putting 100% in. If the players are putting 100% in every game, I'd say fair enough. They're not good enough. But until they do that, I'll be convinced that we should be in the top 6 and we should be in the top 2. But I'm just thinking players who, I didn't say the Tuesday game, but I'm saying a lot of players who just couldn't give a, they're not bothered about winning games and dying for that shirt. But it's a good win, and I always take the positives in there. We're 7th in the league, and it's very tight there. But we've got to go to the game on Tuesday, and we've got to get the 3 points, and then get the 3 points against Gillingham.
Right, fair enough. Back on the chat, Joanne saess, CONRAD, you're modelling the yellow top very well there.
I do the fat lads proud.
Mick Griffiths, Terry, are you on the cider tonight?
On the pop?
He's on the pop.
Oh, Fanta fruit twist, eh, Terry?
That's what it is. That's what it is.
Fruit
Fanta
twist.
fruit.
Bang, drink that, man.
And where was it? I wanted to. Oh yeah. Clayton says, Conrad, if you're 30, what does that make Phil and Sean? Sean, he must think that you're as old as me. Terry's over the moon. Terry's over the moon. He's not been included.
It's just about had their vaccinations.
Well, well, Nivea for men. There you go. That's the secret.
Big rich boys. That's
Well,
it.
for me, I always say, if you get to 70 years old, I think you've had a good innings, and I don't think you can complain. And so that leaves 13 more summers for me, and then there you go. So and then I'm a goner. Mad Mackham, a question down here: does anyone think Embleton should go on loan rather than Dan Neil? Have I missed something? Is Dan Neil going out on loan?
There was talk of it, but nothing's happened yet.
Right. So, quick one then. Would you rather Embleton go than Dan Neil if that was the case? Terry?
Yeah, I think Embleton, if he went to a lower league, a lower team in League One rather than League Two, and get a bit more experience in League One, maybe it's, I don't know, maybe it's MK Dons or somewhere like that.
Or even Shrewsbury. They played some nice football.
Yeah, even Shrewsbury.
There you go.
Best of both worlds. Batter them and give them our players.
Hang on, Jacob, what are you putting? Are you not
even though I don't like to see Dan Neil go out on loan, I think he's one of our more talented players. I think a loan spell could really help him at the moment. I think he's a player with a bright future ahead of him, but I think in order for him to improve, we need to give him a consistent run of games. But I do think he needs to add up his experience by potentially going out to a League One club, because it's important that he does experience football in the division we're currently playing in. Whether we'll be in that division next season, only time will tell. But Elliot Embleton, I think he's a good squad player to have in the squad. Not necessarily, I would say, a starter right now. But then again, I think I heard somewhere we potentially may need to ship out maybe one or two more players, whether that's on a transfer or on loan, in order for us to free up funds to bring players in. I mean, I'm not sure if there's any clarity on that.
Right, okay, fair enough. Just very quickly, I've only got 18 likes at the moment. We've got 142 people watching. What's the matter with you? Come on, I mean, all you have to do...
Thumbs up.
All you have to do is just quickly hit the thumbs up. If you do that now, I mean, if you all do that now, we're going to hit 100. Let's at least get 100 likes.
If you all hit the like button, Philly's going to get naked.
Philly, Dino says you haven't sent him an invite.
Remember Phil, though? I'm sure me mate Carl did say if Phil got promoted, Phil has got to present a show to get in his boxers. And I think he's intending to hold him to that.
Right, okay. What I was going to do with Dino, I did say to Dino, I said that Terry may have to go at past. So I said, if that's the case, will you jump on and in his place? And now he's wanting an invite. He's wanting in now. Do we let him in early or do we make him wait 10 minutes?
Sorry, that wasn't me. No.
Make him wait.
Get him in now.
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay. I'm going to learn.
Then we can all abuse him again like last week.
Well, we need to talk about him first. I think Michael, you was having a go at him earlier, wasn't he?
If Dino's got a face like a smacked ass, kick him out again.
It's Nancy. Honestly, such an unpleasant chap.
Dino says, to be fair, we all have to jump on him.
Right, okay. I'll
Figuratively.
Right, okay.
Social distancing, jump on him.
What we're going to do is by hitting we've gone up to 48 likes now. What we'll do is if you hit the like button now, then I definitely won't go naked on there. So just, look at it. It's going. So hit the like button and I won't go naked. There you go. Hit the like button and I'll get my wife on. No. Right, so yesterday's game, I'm going to invite Dino just now. Was there any standout performer? I know it was a game of two halves. Definitely was that thing with, like we say, second half Sunderland. came out. They're never the same two halves. But overall, was there any shining lights? Sean, do you want to have a go at that?
I think it was just a professional performance again. I thought it was just like a 7 out of 10. The players were just like it was all a combined performance. There was like nobody who stood out, proper stood out. I mean, I thought Josh John put a shift in. Like seeing Max Power at right back, he seems more settled there. He's definitely miles better than there. He's in midfield. He's to be fair, it's pointless in putting Power in the middle. He's no use at all. But right back, he's actually done all right. He's supporting down the right. He's making runs. I think obviously Charlie White done well with his goal, but apart from that, he didn't really have much. He didn't really have much service. It was a case of he was just up there trying to battle away and trying to win the balls. I felt a bit sorry for him actually, but he put a shift in. I thought Ledbetter was brilliant. He's 35 and he's still showing all these young'uns, the rest of the team, how it's done. I thought the back four as well was solid. I mean, McFadden gets a lot of stick, but I think McFadden, Willis, Bailey Wright, and Max Power as a unit. The back four they played really well. They restricted them, especially in the second half when we were under the cosh a little bit, possession wise. So it wasn't anybody stand out for me. Jack Dam as well. I thought Jack Dam was out in the first half. He ran about a lot and caused a bit of problems.
Sean, are you just going to name the whole team?
Bill?
Yes, Terry.
I thought the second half, the best performance for me was Bailey Wright as he headed everything out of the box. Now I'm going to go and sort my car out, so I'll see you in a bit.
All right, no problem. See, give it.
Okay. Au revoir.
He really hates Dino.
Rabbiting on there.
I mean, I've just come on. He's just gone.
Yeah, he doesn't like him, man.
Turned the light off
like
in his room. He's not actually gone off the call.
Yeah, he
So
hates
just
you.
his shirt.
Philly, kick him. Kick him.
No, I'll give him a.
Kick him.
We just have a dark room for the viewers to enjoy.
What's
Right,
happened to that room today, isn't it?
Bad mistake.
Michael-
He isn't earning enough to pay his electricity. That's what's
Michael,
happening.
Michael's standout performer.
It's difficult to say. I would say if I had to pick one, well, first off, I would actually say McGeady, but that's probably because he assisted the goal and I thought he did well for the goal, put a couple of decent crosses in the box. Second off, probably Bailey Wright, but it was just a case of, he's finally gone. It was a case where hardly anyone stood out, in my opinion. So if I had to pick anyone, I would pick McGeady because of the assist, because I think Sean who said that apart from the goal, I didn't think White did anything. But obviously he scored the match winner, so you're not going to complain. One thing I will say is I thought 3 of the back 4 played well. I thought McFadden was really poor. I thought that Power, Wright and Willis were good. I think McFadden was out of position down the left back position. I thought he gave away cheap, needless free kicks. But it's just opinions. That's just what I thought.
Right, fair enough. Jacob, standout performer.
Bailey Wright for me, in the right position at the right time. Playing alongside Jordan Willis helps. I think, like I mentioned before, they understand each other's game very well. Every time a ball came into the box, you read it very well. In the right position, heading it away, was very strong in marking Shrewsbury's attacking players. So, yeah, Bailey Wright, and he's going to be crucial going into that. I think even though Bailey Wright's not been at his best the last month or two, he's a big player in for the big games. So, Bailey Wright for me.
Right, fair enough. Quickly on the chat before we pass this round further. Clayton Edwards said, Phil, you don't need Kazza to get naked. It's on your channel for a bet. Do you remember? I do remember. Yeah, we was in the same hotel room, actually, so I do remember. Yeah,
You say it was tied to your bet of Will Grigg being top scorer.
Yeah, something like that. People are going on about Dino, the Dementor. Apparently, now it's all I'm
The
not
Doominator.
Expecto Patronum.
Patronum. Yeah.
I believe this is something from. Is this something from Harry Potter or something?
I haven't even said anything, and I'm the Doominator. I haven't even said a word.
Listen,
We just see you. We can just see you.
It's just
Listen,
that beautiful
just-
face, mate.
people have given you a nickname. Dino, I don't even know who the Dementor is or what or whatever it is. So
It's a thing what sucks out all the good and everything.
that's
Harry
a good description.
Expecto Patronum.
Good description of you then, Dino. That's all right then. Right, so we'll go to Conrad, then we'll come to Dino. Then Conrad, standout player.
Probably Bailey, right? Yeah, it has to be one of the defenders. I think they all put a shift in. A bit like Michael said, I think McFadzean was probably the worst of them. He was just out of position a good couple of times. Always seemed to be being covered by someone else, whereas all the others seem to be ready when you needed them. So yeah, I'd go Bailey, right?
Dino, welcome to the channel. A little bit late. Have you been doing your Amazon parcels today?
Been grafting me. See, you're not number one grafter now. I'm out longer than you now.
Listen, man, I don't.
It takes you-
How many did you do today?
I have
Four.
Loads.
I have one day off a Sunday. Dino, you have about 3-4 days off a week. So
True.
right. So Dino, the match yesterday, 1-0 Sunderland win. What did you think of it? And who was your star man?
Well, it was like the old Sunderland of old in the first season. A good one half, bad the other, and that comes from the first season in this league through the Jack Ross time. It happened all the time. Would be great one half and terrible the other. And me and Sean were talking about it at half time. I had a feeling that they weren't going to turn up on the second half, and they didn't. But I did give them praise for all the pressure we were under. They didn't have a clear shot on goal. They didn't make Lee Burge make a save, and that's a positive, because even though our backs were against the wall, we stood strong. We blocked every shot. We headed every ball out, and Lee Burge had nothing to do. So I give them praise for that, even though I want to see better in second half, because we shouldn't be a one-half team. But it is what it is. That stems from the players, not the manager. I don't blame the manager for that, because this has been happening, like I say, since 2 years ago. So it's the players' mentality or the players' fitnesses or whatever. It's the players, not the manager. And for star man, I think he might be shocked with me. I think Scowen. I thought Scowen in the first half was everywhere, and I mean everywhere. His passing was actually really, really good. He had the first shot of the game. It didn't go over, it went wide though. But
it was in the first seconds, wasn't it?
It was like from kickoff.
Was the tackle?
And second half, he was busy. He was busy. He was closing down. I just thought Scowen had a really good game, in my opinion. I really do. I know everyone's giving it to Bailey Wright because he was at the back, but for me, Scowen was just everywhere.
On the chat, on that thing says Scowen on the ball average, but off the ball excellent, breaking up the play, never stops running. Need to see that all the time. But to stay off shooting duties. Jacob, are you pointing at your scarf again? What was all? Oh, you want to be in?
No, I was waiting to get in. I actually remember a save that Lee Burge actually made. I think it was in the first half where. Do you remember that poor kick that he made, and it went straight to one of their players? They played a free shot, and if you look at it closely, he actually just managed to get his hand on it. He went for the near post, and it hit the side netting. But yeah, Lee Burge, he's got to, for me, improve his kicking. His kicking was shocking. How hard can it be? I've said this about many goalkeepers we've had over the years, like kicking a ball in a straight line. Surely that can't be a hard skill to do.
We said yesterday as well, if you're worried, just put it out for a throw. Just get yourselves back in position. Don't risk just giving them back.
Well, for me, again, I watched it, and like Dino said, Scowen, and I was thinking, I can't do this again. I mean, when I mentioned Scowen was all right for the midweek game, I got berated, and people saying, what you're on about, and I'm thinking, am I just not seeing it again? So I'm chuffed to bits that Dino's actually said that. Having said that, I thought McGeady once again was. I thought McGeady created a lot. Was pretty good. Again, it was all a first half thing. It was a great first half performance. Second half was second half Sunderland, but there you go. What I'll quickly do then, I want to go round you all, seeing as Dino's on with us now. This debate on winning over performance, right? And we'll let you go first on it, Dino. I don't want a long drawn out thing and a massive Barney over it. But you've said a lot. You would rather Sean said he'd rather win either way, ugly, even with a crap performance. And Tino, your argument on it is always, well, you want to win, obviously, but you want the performance as well. I think everybody wants that. Everybody would love the win and the great performance, right? But if that's not the case, and you had to pick a win over a performance, then what would you pick, Tino?
Well, it's obviously a win, but
Yay!
Let's move on. Next question. Let's move on.
Right, thank you very much. All right, that's all, Your Honour. No further questions. No further questions, Your Honour. No.
Let us tell you why, right?
Go on, why? Go on.
The simple fact: when you're playing badly and you do win the odd game when you're playing badly, you still criticise the team for playing badly. But when you get beat and you play well, you can say, I can't criticise the players because they've done everything. They had shots on target. The keeper was fantastic. We hit the post, we hit the bar, we kept the ball well. We just got beat by the break, or we give away a pen. And so if we get beat and we play well, I can hold my hands up and say the players give 100%. I can't fault them. It just wasn't our day. But when you get beat playing badly, that's when everyone goes in with the abuse and the criticism. I'd rather not criticise a team for playing well and getting beat than criticising them when they're winning but playing badly. And then when they do get beat, everyone goes, "Oh, we played shit." But we played shit. We played shit the other week and won. So that's my point of view. I'd rather we get beat playing well, and then I don't have to criticise any player because I know they give 100% and I know they give everything. It wasn't our day.
Hang on. I don't know if I heard that right. Did you say you'd rather us get beat playing well?
I think he did, but I don't think it's what he meant.
No, right, okay. I'm not being funny. I was on the chat, that was all, and it just sounded.
Let's be fair, Philly, right? Nobody wants to criticise any player on the team because criticism it's not a nice thing. Everyone gets criticised.
Yes.
Everyone gets criticised. It's not very nice. But if you play well and you get beat, how can you criticise somebody because they played very well? It just wasn't our day. That it was a snatch and grab by the other team. But when you like the Wimbledon, like yesterday, loads of people will be criticising the second half because we didn't play very well in the second half, and that's what people focus on.
Right. Okay. Fair point. On here it says Thane says actually I agree. Dino is the number one grafter, so obviously he'll be barred from the chat. David Vasey, the Lincoln fan, says down here, "Hey lads, which Lincoln City player would you take given the chance?" I'm not being funny here, but
I don't know any players from Lincoln.
Well, I was trying
They've
to avoid
got Callum
saying
Morton, haven't they? But he's on loan from a Premier League team. So,
just get him.
So, what are we saying? Nobody.
That one who ran through against us twice when we played them, just because he looked fast. I don't know his name, but he looked fast.
Anyone quick is fine. Anyone who's got pick.
Who's your fastest one? We'll have him.
George Grant or Harry Anderson.
Line them all up, 100-meter sprint. The winner, that one.
Right. Okay. Fair enough. Right then. I read somewhere today on social media that Lee Johnson's looking to offload Danny Graham and Will Grigg.
Finally.
Sorry.
To
your bet's gone.
I've cashed in.
I was gone at the start of the season. That man, as soon as you put it on,
Will Grigg going somewhere else would have been the only chance of me actually having a chance of winning that bet.
Would it have still counted in League Two?
Of course. Oh, yeah. Good point. Yeah. Good point, Conrad. Obviously, it would free up some funds with the salary cap and stuff like that. But offloading Danny Graham, is Will Grigg not injured though?
Yeah, he's injured.
He is.
So, I mean, who's going to take an injured player on, really? I mean, it's...
Let's be fair, Philly. We've done that a lot of times when we've signed players and they've been injured.
Yeah.
Some team will do it.
So, do you think that's a good idea, offloading them too, Conrad?
Yeah, easily. They're not playing, and even when they were both... Well, even when Grigg was fit, he wasn't even getting time. So, may as well then have a look at bringing in someone with a bit of pace up top, because if we don't have that, what have we got? O'Brien and just Wyke, if we don't have either of them too. So yeah, we'd need to bring in someone up top, and we may as well try and get a bit of pace and power in.
If that's true, that he's wanting them two out, then obviously he mustn't fancy them at all. He's seen them, he's thought, nah, they're not for me, I need to bring in two two new strikers.
Could be attitude, could be ability, could be anything really. But
Could be wages.
That'll be I think that goes without saying, especially for Greg.
First
but I think maybe they're too high earners to get out and like we said, get someone else in. Bit of pace.
Well, on the same score then, if they're going out and Lee Johnson must have a backup plan for another striker. I was going to ask, we do need a striker. I mean, it showed yesterday. I mean, to be fair, Charlie White took his goal absolutely brilliantly, and fair play to him. He's doing a great job. But we need to get this second and third goal. So, is there a striker that you would fancy as well? So, anybody in mind, and anybody on the chat, if you want to chuck names at us. And
I'm just going to say, Mbappe's not signed a new deal at PSG.
Oh yeah, okay.
He said he wants out. So,
before we go, we'll go to you, Sean, next. But Thane says Greg to Salford on loan, apparently.
Turned it down.
He turned down last season, didn't he?
Yeah.
A lot's changed in a year.
Right. Yeah, it has. So, Sean, offloading Danny Graham, Will Grigg, and is there any strikers you fancy?
Well, is it Nanjali? The one who went to Turkish side. He went for free, didn't he? I think he's available now. He scored 20-odd goals for Blackpool last season. I thought we'd have actually went for him in the summer. So if he's available, then why not try and get him? He scored the goals in this division. He's got pace. He's exactly what we need. I mean, you're talking about the big scores in this league. You're not going to be able to get any of the John Clark Harrises, the Marquez, the Pigotts, Taylors. You're not going to get any of them.
Well, let me jump in there on the chat. This Jepcott from Plymouth, who's any top scorer.
He's joint top scorer.
I think they're the sort of people what we'll need to look at. I mean, you cannot. Somebody's put Billy Sharp in here. Billy Sharp would be superb. He isn't going to come to us, though.
Wages in there.
Michael, offloading Danny Graham and Will Grigg. Any strikers you'd like in?
Well, Angela would be an option because he's free, but a lot of that depends on wages because of the salary cap. But on the same token, if you're able to get rid of Graham and Griggs, you surely should be able to free up
definitely
wages. But again, how much wiggle room are we allowed per player because of the cap? So it just depends. Anyone we sign, I think their wages count in full towards the cap if they're over a certain age. So we're quite limited in that respect. Ideal world, say someone like Shriki Dembele from Peterborough, but one, Peterborough wouldn't sell to us anyway, and two, it'd be too expensive because of the cap, and three, we probably wouldn't want to pay the transfer fee anyway. That's what I want, but wouldn't get him.
Right, okay. On here, somebody said, Dino, what are you having for tea?
Philly.
Oh,
Philly.
Yes.
You see the comments that he said. Tell Sean a story about
yes.
Fabio
I was going to do that one next. Andrew Robbins, the online signal shopper, says, "Yeah, Sean asked story if Barini's still available."
Really still available.
Right. Andrew Robbins also says I would have Ricky J. Jones from Peterborough. Never heard of him. Is he any good? Anybody?
Peterborough have been very good. All players have chipped in with goals. Other than was it Clark Harris up front? I think they're just a natural goal scoring team that they have people that can score from all over the pitch.
Right. Well, also on the chat, Jimmy Stogo says go for Madison. He's fell out with Boyer. Now, manager in.
I'm not sure about that now.
That's done and dusted now. Sure.
Now that we've got McGeady back, I don't feel like we need another attitude.
I was going to say, quite a while back, I would have had Madison, but I'm starting to get the opinion we've dodged a bullet there with a lot of the stuff that's gone.
I agree.
He hasn't even played well for Charlton, I don't think.
But the thing is, if there's been attitude problems allegedly at Peterborough, if it's happened at Hull and it's happened at Charlton, there's a common pattern going on there. So,
what's the common pattern, Michael?
That is
no, it's all right. No, you're all right, Michael. It's okay. I was just funny.
He's an arsehole. Sorry.
Jacob, shipping out Danny Graham and Will Grigg, and a striker you'd like to see?
To be honest, I like that Piggott from Wimbledon. That Joe Piggott, he's quick. He can run into spaces very well. Find room in the box in order to finish off chances.
Good on horses as well.
Leicester.
Or is that not him?
Him up front with Wyke, I think, could be a good combination. But with Danny Graham, I think the signing of him just sums up the Stuart Donald era. Like, surely there's someone better in our academy that could have done a more effective job than him, like in the first few months of the season. Surely, like, signing a player who's coming towards the end of his career, we've brought him in purely because of the experience, not actually taking into account his overall qualities of a footballer now, sums up the transfer policy under the Stuart Donald era, to be honest. And yeah, I just can't. Danny Graham, we need to ship him out because I'm sure he's on hefty wages at the moment in order to bring someone else in.
Right, okay. Just very quickly before we, because Michael, you're trying to get in there. Joanne on the chat says, remember to like the show, please. Don't forget, we have got 175 people watching now, and we've only got 74 likes. We'd like at least 100 likes. So all you have to do, it'll take you 2 seconds to do it. What have you got to do, Sean?
Hit the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up.
Hit the thumbs up. That's what you got to do. And give us a like, and we'll do that. And don't forget, of course, if you haven't subscribed already, please do so. We're on our way to 5,000. Michael, you was trying to get in there.
Well, yeah, what Jacob was saying about Piggott, it's like George Dobson's at Wimbledon, so maybe you could go, hey, Piggott, do you fancy a spell up in the northeast, and we'll get Grigg and Graham to come down here? See if that
Could have offered them a
Could have
swap.
done that as part of the deal, yeah.
Yeah, offer them both. Hey, do you want Graham and Grigg? We'll take Piggott. It's all right. You're getting two for the price of one.
Well, not necessarily, not necessarily so. I mean, 1.5.
Yeah, I'm being idealistic.
I don't even think one.
Dino, shipping out Danny Graham and Will Grigg, and bring it in. Who would you bring in?
Well, when I was watching the match yesterday, I thought there was someone jumped in from the crowd. You know, I seen, and who the hell is that? It looked like a proper beer monster. It was Danny Graham. He looks so unfit. He looks so unfit. He looks like he's piled weight on. I'm not being funny. Like when he signed, I literally just shook my head because I thought, what a bad signing that's going to be. Because I remember his time here last time and he was no good, and I could just tell it was just one of them things where it was he came here for money because no one else wanted him. Let's be fair. Yeah, get rid of them too. And who would I bring in? I mean, I'm sure Sean says we wouldn't be able to get Piggott. I wouldn't say why not, because Wimbledon they'll probably need the cash with the no fans in and all that stuff. And you could upset Piggott, where you can rumour that you're interested in him, and you might put a transfer request in, because let's be fair, who would Piggott want to play for, Sunderland or Wimbledon? It's not a debate, really, is it?
Wimbledon,
Wimbledon
probably.
AFC Wimbledon, man.
Yeah.
So, and if you kind of get anyone like that, go for a loan striker in the Prem or Championship, someone on loan.
Right. Somebody said Chet Evans, and then Thane said Chet Evans has joined Preston on loan. Glyn Jones on the.
Aren't we rumoured for that Preston striker?
No, he's
If
going
we're
to
talking about
Charlton,
Big
didn't he?
Stockley, he's gone to Charlton.
He went to Charlton, did he?
Right. Glyn Jones on the chat says Duncan Watmore from Middlesbrough.
Why would he want to come back?
How about this one? Have you guys heard of Josh Madger? Plays for Bordeaux.
No, who's it?
Sorry, Mike.
Yeah.
The tumbleweed blown across the screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So that anyway, that's the room about.
I didn't get to say who I'd want to buy.
Oh, sorry, did you not?
No.
Oh no, because you did
Conrad,
your bit. Because we chucked it in after you'd had your go. Conrad, who would you buy?
So I'm using my extensive football manager knowledge here from Sunderland being in the Premier League. You got Paddy Madden, because he scored 35 goals in one season for Sunderland. So, and he's at Fleetwood. So get on Paddy Madden, or the one I mentioned it the other night when we were doing a stream, Ennis at Plymouth. Said he's a future legend on Football Manager. So let's test these youngsters out, see if they're actually any good, or if it's just a game.
Can I just say IAGB?
Just a game, Conrad.
No, it's not. It's real life. I'm in the Premier League.
Right, we'll try again then. We'll just say sorry, IAGB on the chat. You'll have to get up earlier than that to catch us out with that one. That's all we're going to say there. Right. Something that one of Sean's sources. Have you got a source who's a ski instructor?
No,
That's so good.
No, I'm not going to see about last night the tweet.
Right. Okay. Right. Well, Sean obviously got sources on Twitter all over the place. People in the know. But there's a ski instructor on there is saying that Juan Sartori has pulled out.
She misspelled Satori, though, I will say.
Yeah, has pulled out of the
Santori.
has pulled out of the deal, which means the split on the shares with KLD and Stuart Donald's gonna get a bigger share.
Yeah, get it.
Sean, is it just a load of baloney or what?
Well, I've just looked there, and she's actually just. If you look, this tweet has been deleted. The tweet you put was, "I've been told that Sunderland Takeover is still positive news." Sartori, she put Santori. Sartori has backed out of it. Donald holds more shares now with Kirill, major shareholder. Will be completed in 2 weeks.
Sounds like she's skating on thin ice to me.
We've got a
Trying to think of more. Give me time.
we've got a little bit of bad news to bring you as well on here. Just on a serious note, Terry, the mad mistake, his battery on his car is totally knackered, apparently. So,
I thought it was going to be something bad. Oh.
it is.
Excuse me,
It
just
is.
how do you know that isn't bad for Terry?
Oh,
He is, you know, he has to run everywhere.
Terry can run everywhere.
Exactly.
Listen. A little bit of respect, please. His battery's died. Right, now, come on.
It'll have to become a running vlog now.
All right.
I thought he's a Duracell bunny anyway.
Yeah.
Right. So it's just your rant is just a load of baloney then, Sean, yeah?
Well, for me, this is what I said to last night. Is what I said. When it gets put to the AFL checks, yeah, you can't backtrack and change things what's already written down and pass on to the AFL. Do you know what I mean? You can't change.
Well, no, you can, but I would imagine you have to resubmit it.
Well, no, everything's being passed and sent through, so it's down to the AFL. It's past the point
Yes.
of no return, isn't it? Past the
Yes,
point of no return.
Yes, no, but if the EFL still grant it, they don't then have to go through with it. They could still reassess it and put in another proposal to the EFL.
If they then change some of the deal, I guess they'd have to get it re-put back through the tests again and again.
That's
never ending.
That's what I mean.
Never ending.
Once it's been passed to the EFL, the EFL just do the checks, make sure KLD's got the required funds in his bank account and all that crap. And then once that's been done and dusted, then it gets signed off. They can't change what's already been put into place.
No,
I mean,
the current deal, what's in, they can't change and then it go through. Yeah, right. Just very quickly on the, I'll come to you in a sec, Dino. On the chat, we've got a lot of people are saying RIP Terry's battery, RIP buy some Duracells, Terry. Dino, what you want to say there?
Isn't it quite funny how like this all of a
Terry's
sudden
battery went? Yeah, it's hilarious.
No. When Satori pulls out the AFL deal, right? When it's coming to the end of the transfer window, isn't that funny?
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
One longer.
Right. Well, we hang on. I've got to do this on the chat first, quickly. Neil Thompson says, "Fred Flintstone it, Terry." That's what you got to do. I said this weeks back about how it's a classic trait of Mike Ashley, what Mike Ashley used to do. Put it up for sale in the transfer window and then didn't have to spend any money. I know the argument is, but he did spend money. Yes, but as soon as the transfer window's closed, then it comes off the market. There's a few of you wanting in. Michael first.
But I was just about to say that, funnily enough, to me, it wouldn't surprise me in the slightest if this was let's just drag out the takeover a couple of weeks longer till the transfer window's done, then we don't have to spend any money in this window. Let's be honest, would that really be so shocking? I mean, I know it's poor. I know it's obviously like really poor from that perspective, but it wouldn't surprise me at all. It's just classic Sunderland.
Sean?
That again, I'll just say that obviously it's out of Stuart Donald's control now. It's with the EFL. If they want to drag their heels and just think, oh well, we'll just wait until the transfer window closes. We'll just prolong it, and then we'll sign it through.
It doesn't seem right though. Like, surely if you were the ones who were trying to come in, if it was me, I'd be trying to do like interviews, like what Story was doing, going like, "Howie, I'm ready." Like, what's taking so long? Their silence is also a bit like they're not bothered. It's taking this long. Do you know what I mean? It screams a bit of like everyone's happy with it at the minute. You know,
is it not the AFL though? Like, see, just not, you know.
No, that's what I'm meaning. Like, so them off to one side. But if you were trying to buy us now, right? If it was you,
yeah.
Would you be happy just with the EFL not saying anything each day, or would you do what William Story was doing, going like, "Howie, like I'm ready, like hurry up, come on, I'm ready to go," which is what they're not doing, regardless of what the EFL are doing.
And who's to say, Sean, that they've not been in touch with the EFL and said there may be changes to the deal here and stalling it that way? Sean, then we'll go to Michael.
When I'm sort of with the AFL checks, I put a tweet up the other day, and if you've seen, Philly, I basically tagged Gordon Armstrong in, because Gordon Armstrong, through the whole of this, he's been pretty much accurate with everything he says. And I tweeted him the other day, Gordon Armstrong, and he messaged back and he says that everything's going okay. He sees no problem what he's being told, and it will be announced soon. He didn't go into the shares situation, but obviously when it gets signed, we'll see who's got what.
Right. Okay. We'll go to Michael just after this. Obviously, all these rumours. Casual observer says her next door neighbour's Nana's next door neighbour's niece heard it while she was shopping for nappies in Nettle. Right. Go on, Michael, and then I want to have a little say on it. Go on.
Well, I'll be honest. The thing I was going to read, it was a comment called, I think, is it Pulo Other? I've probably said that name wrong. It basically they've said the problem with the conspiracy theory is that it requires organisational and administrative competence to do so. Does that sound like Sunderland? Yeah. No, it doesn't. It really doesn't.
Well, the thing is as well, I mean, I was going to mention this last week, I think it was on, or the week before on the Sunday Bunch when we ran out of time. And I mentioned a bit back about I think if this deal goes through, that Stuart Donald, even though he'll have a minor shareholding, will still run the club, and he'll run it on behalf of Krill Louis Dreyfus. And people are saying, well, no, why would you? I think, Sean, you said, why would anybody plough the money into it and then allow someone else to run it for them? Was your argument. And true. Why would somebody come in, put all that money in, and then why does he still want Stuart Donald at the club? If he's coming in to buy the club and put all this money in, right, why doesn't he just buy the club, get rid of Stuart Donald and all that? And then, so there must be some reason he still wants Stuart Donald there. And I think the pals, and I think Stuart Donald wants the investment in there, and he'll run the club, and Dreyfus will just see it as a toy, what he doesn't have to mess about with, because Donald can run it. Go on, Sean.
Sure.
I think KLD, the only way this deal was going to happen was if KLD probably wanted to buy the club, but Stuart Donald probably says no. He's told us earlier in the season, he told Nick Barnes that he was wanting to sell the club 37.5 million. That's a lot of crap. He never had any intention of selling the club full sale. The only way it was going to happen is if he retained some percentage, and that's the only way it was going to go through. So I think KLD probably just bit the bullet and said, look, I'll compromise. I'll let you have 20% or 15, whatever it is, and get the deal over the line. And then once he takes over, if we get promoted, he'll get rid of Donald further down the line. I don't think Donald had no intentions of selling the club at a full sale. He just wanted to sell a percentage, and that was it.
Quickly, Dino.
We already know that's true, because why would he not accept William Story's? Because William Story wanted him out, full stop, capital letter. He offered him more money, but Stuart Donald turned it down for less money just so he could have a stake in the club. So it's fact. We all knew it was fact anyway. I'm done.
The thing is we don't know for sure it's fact. Conrad?
I just can't believe we're still talking about this 5 months later on. That's all I wanted to say.
Well, it should be. It should be
I don't
done.
like talking about it, but Jesus, it's been 5 months. And
It
it's still
should be
going
done
on.
and dusted. Didn't it happened with Charlton? Charlton got sold and by Wigan. And Wigan gone through it all, and here's us still dragging it out, and it's a shame. All right. Well, quickly, Michael, and then we'll move on.
Well, I'm the same as Conrad. It's just getting to the point. I reached that point weeks ago, maybe months ago. I've just kind of got. I know this might sound a bit, but I don't know. I've just got the point where it's like your takeover happens when it happens. When I think we got told, oh, it'll be done by the Plymouth game. Wow, whoop-de-doo. Let's wait until it's officially confirmed.
They meant the Plymouth game next year.
Right, I'm waiting to move on, but now Dino wants in.
I think the EFL are doing it on purpose, because Sunderland in League One makes people watch League One because Sunderland's in it. It makes them money. Yeah. I think it's got something to do with that, mate.
Well, listen,
Yeah.
that's a very good point you've made there, Dino.
That's why I was saying before about you'd be transparent. Like if it was Sean trying to buy, you'd be like, come out in the meeting and be like, I have put this to them today. They have said it will take this long. And then at that time, 2 weeks later, or however long it is, you'd be like, I have not had a response off them. You'd be letting people know where you're at with it. Like you'd be on their back. I wouldn't ever just put money into something and go, well, it's done when it's done, and just sod off for a bit.
It's a fair point. It's a fair point you made, Dino. I can't see them getting away with something like that. If something like that came out,
Premier League did. Premier League did.
Sean, quickly,
what I was referring to there.
We are trying to.
Yeah, that's why I was being sarcastic.
Listen, go on, Sean, quickly.
It'll be signed off the 1st of February. That's when we've signed off.
Yeah, right.
How convenient. When the window's done.
When the window's shut, of course.
Oh, sorry, we couldn't.
I'll hold your word to that.
Tony Lee says, good night, Monkey. Good night, Tony. See you, mate. Right, so listen. On here, we was going on about win the next 5 games and everybody's all happy and stuff like that. And
you were.
Are you just pushing back the next 5 games?
Yes, I was. Oh, hang on a sec. Before we do anything, we've got 98 likes, and we said we wanted 100 by the end. So, wait, 2 people just hit the like button at least, and let's get us over 100.
Okay,
just hit the thumbs up and do that if you can. You've all got to do it yourselves.
Sean.
Oh, I wish, Sean. There you go. There's your 100.
Hey.
Didn't Phil say he would go naked or something if we hit 100 likes?
No, I said we wouldn't go naked if we it's going.
Yeah, sure you did, Phil. Sure you did.
Right. So yes, I was bleating on about 5 wins in a row and everything would be rosy. We'd all be happy, and yes, I was bleating on about that. But we lost 1, but we still got 2 out of 3. And then when we beat Ipswich, and then when we beat Gillingham, that is 4 out of 5. Not all right.
Put it this way:
promised 5.
We've been in this position before where we've won a game. We've been in this position before. We've won a game. We've had a chance to go on a winning run, and we haven't done it. I hope Sunderland come back to us when they actually put a few wins together consecutively.
Right. Right. Dino, quickly, and then I want to do the last thing before we go.
I don't know how he's so confident against Ipswich. But on Sky, Sunderland always play shit when they're on Sky. For me, when Sky
apart from when we play Newcastle.
Yeah.
Yes. What do you say to that, Dino?
Last time drew 1-1.
Oh, I didn't even know what he said.
City, I think.
Dino, we also better away from home as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, Dino. Come on.
There is that as well. But when we are on Sky, we are
also we're unbeaten against Ipswich in years.
Any representative from Sky, if you're listening now, come round to Dino's house and take your Sky box away ASAP.
Dino, listen, Dino, you say we're rubbish when we're on Sky, but you say we're rubbish whenever we're playing, whenever Sunderland are playing.
Excuse me, did I say we were rubbish yesterday? No,
Yes, you did.
I'll give praise. I didn't see anything negative. Everything was all praise. So don't start with that shit.
Excuse me. Oh, but would be 3-0.
Rupert Murdoch, are you
But it was
watching?
Dino's turning new leaf now. He's going to be positive, Dino. Anyway, Dino.
Reel him in. Right. Right. Listen. We're live on Sky Tuesday night against Ipswich. Out of form, Ipswich. We're away from home, so we play better away from home. They're out of form. We will be doing a live stream, though I don't know who's doing it yet. And what I'd like some predictions from you. I meant to get Terry's before he left, but he's in mourning now at the moment. So I'll whiz it round you all. Conrad, prediction for Tuesday.
Because it worked so well the other day saying 1-1 and we've won, I'm going to go 1-1.
Oh, sorry. Before we start, credit to Jacob, by the way, who predicted 1-0 on Saturday. So well done, Jacob.
Did you get it right, like Philly?
Hey?
Did
You get it right.
It's the first one you've got wrong, Philly.
I get it. No, I get it right. I said we would win. I said we would win by 1 goal.
Jacob's prediction then. Jacob's is the only one worth paying attention to because he got the last score right.
Oh, Bowers, mate.
Yeah, honestly. Right. Michael said we'd get beat 1-0. All right. Terry said we win 2-1. Conrad said 1-1. Dino said 1-1. Jacob said 1-0. And I said 1-0, the same as Jacob. There you go.
Is that 3-1 Sean or 1-0?
Sean said 4-0.
Oh, 1-0.
Right. Sorry, Conrad. What did you say for Tuesday?
1-1. This is the way.
1-1. Right. Okay. Sean?
2-0 to Sunderland.
2-0 Sunderland. Michael?
I'm going to do... Okay. I said we'd get beat 1-0, 1-0, so I'm going to say we'll get beat 1-0.
I just want a prediction, Michael. That's all, man. I don't want it. All right. Right, go on.
Right, I'll waffle on another 5 minutes. Fine, I'll say 1-0 Ipswich, reverse psychology. This is the way. Nice Victorian reference. Conrad gets it.
Jacob. Jacob.
Hard-fought, scrappy 1-0 away win.
This is the way.
Right.
Take your helmet off, Conrad.
Because we're on Sky, we're going to get...
fuck off.
This is the way.
This is the way.
This is the way of Sky.
This is the way.
So what did you say, Dino?
1-0 Ipswich.
It's all Rupert Murdoch's fault.
1-0 Ipswich.
We'll win 2-1. Grogu gets the winner.
Yes, man.
Right. Well, I'm going with Sean. I'm going for a confident 2-0 win. Is what I'm going to say. And Terry, we'll get Terry's off him somewhere. I thought he might have stuck it in the chat, but he hasn't. Right, so there you go. I think that just about wraps it up. Don't forget, straight after we finish the show, watch out for Michael's preview of the Ipswich game, which he's done. That'll be on our channel straight after we finished here. And don't forget, you can tune in on Tuesday night for our live stream of the game down at Ipswich. And most of us will be back on Thursday for the Thursday Night Live. So don't forget, please like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. From myself, Wee Philly, from Conrad Lee, Sean Middleton, from Jacob Kirkbride, Dan Saff, from Michael Bowers, and from Dino. That just about wraps it up, and we will see you all very soon. See you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Josh Kelly, also. Brilliant interview, son.
Yes, thank you very much.
This is the way.
This is the way.
Amarillo.
This is the way.